Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome to episode 2 in season 2 of my vanilla series. My Landstryder plays vanilla on the Mynecraft server. That's Minecraft the Y. So, the first episode in season 2 was all about getting started on building the train system. So now, the train system has pretty much been done. The redstone part, the track part, at least the initial concepts of it are all laid out and working. So, it looks like I've got in my payment from Fargo. So let's see what we got. A block of diamond. Nice. I always have a hard time finding diamond in vanilla just because I'm not like a strip miner, not really used to the vanilla thing. And a lot of times I'm playing modded, so I often quickly get to the point where I can mine larger areas and stuff using modded items and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not really great at finding things using the traditional vanilla mining method. So yeah, that'll help me out because now I don't have to go find all those diamonds by myself. So that's 9 diamonds I earned for putting all this stuff together. And of course some extra materials that were left over and stuff, and being able to build the track out to my place first. So yeah, let's take a look at it here. This is the return station, so we can see that I have a button right here. It's a little hard to see it because I got a stone button on top of wooden, or on cobblestone. Maybe I should make that a wooden button, just so it's a little more visible to anybody that comes by. And plus, this is also going to kind of give people an idea of what they need to do to build their return stations. Because I'm not going to build everybody's return station for them. I don't know where that button went. There it is, right there. So yeah, for one, the incoming rails, like, so when you coming in, you come up. I would be coming up out of there. You're gonna want to have it routed into a cactus with a block of some kind on top of it. That just the block on top just prevents it from growing, and it also prevents you from being able to walk into it and hurting yourself. Oh shoot, the sun's coming. The sun's going down, and yeah. Anyway. Hopefully there won't be too many mobs around here while I'm explaining this. So yeah, you can see there's 1, 2, 3 hoppers, and then we'll just go ahead and remove that for temporary. Toss it over there. It'll get sucked up and it'll go into that dispenser there. And if we look at the redstone behind this is actually real simple. Real simple. All it does is, let's go ahead. Actually, I don't need this. Didn't actually need that block. You can kind of, oh, it's hard to see down in here. Oh, there we go. Now we can, there we go. Now we can see the whole workings of it. Down there you see there's a repeater with a delay, and I think this one actually does not have a delay. It could have a delay. It doesn't need a delay because all this is really meant to do is, how do I get, oh, move that block so I get up out of here. There we go. All it's meant to do is that when there's going to usually be a cart sitting there, you get in the cart and you push the button and it'll send you on your way. And then after you left, it'll dispense the cart for the next person to come along. So I'm going to take us for a ride here in a second, then show you the other end. But all there is to this is when I press this redstone button, it activates the rail. Now the reason I need to have this the way it is set up, because you see that is a torch, redstone torch, and it's actually on. Let me get rid of this one piece of dirt so you can see. The redstone torch is on, powering this repeater, which puts strong power into that block and sends a continuous signal into this dispenser. So if I didn't have that redstone torch on and sending a redstone signal into the dispenser, when I push this button, the track would actually conduct the redstone signal received from the button. It would conduct it into the dispenser dispensing a cart. This is not what I want to happen. So actually the cart went in there. So what I want to happen is, there we go. You can see how that works. A moment later, like after this cart is cleared the area, I want it to go ahead and dispense a new cart on the track after the track is no longer powered, which is what this one fully delayed right here does for me. So I actually don't want that particular one there to be delayed. I don't think that. Anyway, so this repeater on maximum delay, that repeater on no delay. giving it a redstone signal, sending that signal into the dispenser at all times to keep it from dispensing a cart when I press the button, and then dispensing a cart a moment later after this cart has left. So let me put this back. I really don't need to cover all that stuff up down in there, except it might be a good idea just to throw a torch there just so we don't have a mob spawn down there in an accident. So this can be covered like so, and because we don't want to break that redstone trail down into there any. So all I gotta do is get in there, and I'm off. And a moment later, you'll see, actually, you could hear it, but you couldn't see it because I was already headed down the tunnel here. Those corners, like you lose it if you don't have the blocks right on the corners of those sharp turns. When the cart is going at max speed, you can actually fly off the track. So it's something to be aware of in the newer versions of Minecraft. But since I have a very narrow tunnel on those tight turns, it like flashes for a moment like you're going to come off the track, but you don't. So we come up in here, we get sent back through to the side where we're kicked out of the cart, and the cart goes down this side and heads back over to the other side and is returned to the dispenser based on the side that it came from. So since I come from the south there, that cart is going to end up back in that dispenser. Now, if I would have come into the station from the north, it would have ended back up in this dispenser. So let's get down to specifically how that works here in a second. Before we even go down there, though, I want to explain about this right here. So this is an activator rail, and Saxon informed me that in the new version of Minecraft, the activator rail will eject a passenger. So if there's a passenger on the cart, the activator rail will kick them out, which is great. So now, instead of having to break the cart or anything, I can just eject the player right here. So you're gonna end up right here at the on the platform. You know, the incoming platform. I don't know what else to call it. The receiving platform and the inbound. There we go. The inbound platform. That's probably the best way to say it. The inbound platform. This right here, this activator is going to kick you off. Now, this right here is just a powered rail, just enough to get that cart, just enough momentum to get around these two corners to go down there. We'll go down there in a minute. But yeah, there's actually this. Can kind of see it. There's a torch there, and there's also a torch on that side. So yeah, individually powered torches, these will not transmit the redstone signal to each other. Like if you put down a series of powered rail, they'll transmit the redstone signal to each other, but a activator will not transmit to a powered rail or vice versa. So they each need their own individual torch underneath to power them up with redstone. So yeah, and then because this is powered, it will eject the player, and the player will end up here on the platform. The cart will go down and around, down through this return tunnel. This tunnel leads over here. You got to have a lot powered rail for a cart that doesn't have a passenger. When a cart doesn't have a passenger, it doesn't hold its momentum very long. Basically, I'm guessing that's because there's no weight in the cart, and you know, the less weight you have, the less momentum you can maintain. So we got a powered rail there, we've got a little powered rail there. That's enough to get this cart to go all the way to here, and right here's where we have the switch track. Now this is the track that determines whether it goes back over to that side or back over to that side. And right here is the circuit that controls that. Now this is a monostable something. Oh God, Saxon's gonna correct me. I'll just leave it. Here's the circuit. Saxon will put the name of it in there because I forgot to look at what it was called again. This is a flip-flop of some kind. Anyway, we'll let him correct us later in the comments. So what happens is we have a detector rail here and a detector rail over here. And what will happen? Let's go grab a cart so I can demonstrate this. I should be able to just pull a cart out of one of these. Yeah, there we go. What happens is when a cart comes across this track, it switches this circuit, so it turns it on. So if the circuit is on, it sends the cart over that way. So anytime anybody comes in this way, it'll switch that circuit on. Now, if another car comes along, it stays on. But if a car comes from this direction next, it'll switch the circuit to this side. Now, I'm not really doing anything with this power, but it does turn off this side, which then switches this intersection to go ahead and send the cart that direction instead. And again, same thing. If another cart comes by here before, next, then it just the circuit stays in its same state. So it's a toggle of some sort. Anyway. That's the return circuit. So what happens is these carts, you can see this track goes down along that way, comes over to here. If I can get up on here. Lots of power rail. Remember, when the cart does not have a passenger, it has to have lots of power rail. Now, the cart can travel right underneath this block because there's no passenger in it. I don't know if that would be the case if there was an actual passenger in it, but I'll show you a little something later. And then hits that cactus right there, goes into that hopper, and then, is funneled into this dispenser right here. And the other side is pretty similar, except, obviously there's a whole difference in the layout because, everything down here is just kind of a tangle, and it kind of twists around and stuff. But you can see this one would come up. This again, we have one of those blocks where it's very narrowly goes up and then hits this cactus, goes into that hopper, and is fed back into the side. Only has 2 hoppers, but it's fed back into this dispenser. So the dispenser, between the dispenser and the extra hoppers, we can have like a total of 14 or more. No, actually 5, 10, 9, 19, almost 20. Almost 20 carts on this side, and a little more than 20 carts, like 24 carts on this side, in reserve. We don't need that many. We don't have that many people playing on this server, but there's plenty of carts in reserve. And on the other end, we can also have a few carts in reserve. Like at the satellite stations, I only intend to initially have the one cart that sits there waiting, because when somebody comes in, it's gonna take that cart, put it into the dispenser, and be ready for the next time that you activate the rail. So if we come up here, we can see, let's see, I've set up my destination, so I can spin it around to my destination. I don't think any of these other ones have been set up yet, except for Mineland. I set that one up just as another example of potential ways to do it. Nobody's done a destination to the north yet, just to the south. So Mineland is destination. This would be technically destination 1. I'm technically destination 4. So there could be like a couple other destinations that general direction. They wouldn't necessarily have to be on a radial, axis based on destination, because you can go up, down, left, right, twist around the track. You could actually have one of these destinations going to the north, if it went down and switched back around, whatever. But I figured if they're kind of radial, it'd make a little more sense, when somebody comes up here and selects. So there could be like 2 destinations someplace over there between Mineland and the Mesa and my place. There could be like what would that be? West Mesa down in that corner, way back in there. Anyway, so I've set it to Mineland, and the way this works is once you've set your destination, you come around to the side here, you flip the switch up, you flip it down, that's going to dispense a cart. Now, the reason you have to flip this up and down is because you need that redstone signal going into that dispenser in order to prevent additional cart dispensing when you actually take off. Similar to the way that I have the continuous power to the satellite station. So we jump in here. There's a tripwire that sends a redstone signal around and into that powered rail and tells it which gets the cart to initially go. Now, when there's a passenger in the rail, you don't need as much powered rail to go far. You can go quite far on just a little bit of powered rail with a passenger. So You might have noticed I didn't have a ton of powered rail on that trip. Now this one is set up. This is basically exactly the same, except I just slightly altered the path of the redstone to kind of give the shape of this one a little bit different shape. So, but it does exactly the same thing as the one up at my place. Again, when you come in, you hit this, the cart breaks, it goes into the dispenser, and it'll have a few carts, 1 or 2 carts, in reserve. So if we go ahead and actually, I don't know if I have to break this to actually look in the dispenser. So you can see, oh, there should not be arrows in there. Not sure how those end up. Probably a skeleton died nearby here. So yeah, that's one issue that you kind of have to be aware of, that occasionally if mobs die near these dispensers, you could end up with like something that's not a cart in there. So, and then at that point, you know, when the next person might come along, there might not be a cart there. So if there's not a cart there, you can just go ahead and press the button, wait a few seconds, and it'll dispense a cart. And then it's ready to go again. You get in the cart and push the button. And then theoretically, there should be a cart sitting there for the next person that comes up along. Now, one of the issues that was kind of brought up to me about this particular system is, what if somebody is coming from a location and at the same time somebody is going to that location? So that's going to be a bit of an issue right now. Now, I don't think it's a huge issue on our server, but if you had a high population server, that might be more of an issue. So Fargo was talking about doing a separate return track for each destination. So there might be a double track going, one coming, one going. So we might end up doing a 3-wide tunnel instead of a 2-wide tunnel, with a track going, one for each direction, one for coming, one for going. And then once the return track gets kind of close, it would split and combine and go. I mean, it would combine in and still go through this area right here. Would still go through this area right here. All of the incoming tracks would combine, but they wouldn't do this. We would get rid of these intersections here and basically have all these combined someplace over that way or something. I don't know how we would do it, but anyway, it might be possible that we eventually split all of these individual tracks into a return track and an incoming and an outgoing track for each location. So, and gosh, I wish I had somebody to demonstrate this. Sky is on right now, but I don't know what he's doing. So he hasn't said hello or nothing. So he might just be AFK someplace. Again, I haven't changed anything to this redstone from what I originally showed you in the last episode. It basically does the same. You know, as you rotate around, each additional position extends the redstone and lights up an additional track down here. Whoops, I'm trapped in there. Trapped in there. So yeah, it's a tangle down. It's a tangled mess of redstone and stuff. So yeah, as you can see, I've had to do some interesting weaving of the redstone around to get all these things. So when these are powered, it pushes you down to the next one. So right now, this is Destination 3 is selected. So when Destination 3 is selected, it's only powering it's only powering the intersection of Destination 1 and Destination 2 in order to get you to turn on this one instead of continuing on to the other destinations. So that's about the size of it. And the only thing I haven't mentioned in this video, of course, I did go over this in the original video, how this works is you can see that when I'm in this space breaking or activating this string, the track is powered. And again, if that track will transmit its redstone signal to that dispenser, so which is why we need the lever in the down position so that the dispenser is receiving a constant redstone signal so it doesn't dispense an additional cart. So yeah, if that lever was up, every time I tripped this string, it would dispense a cart. We don't want that. We only want to dispense a cart when we flip that lever the initial time. Let's see, easy way to get up out of here. There we go. So yeah, and Fargo completed the train station. I wanted to look around at the train station with my Sortex pack because I watched him make it. He has the vanilla. He's just using vanilla textures and stuff. And I wanted to show everyone what this looks like. I've updated my Sortex to the 1.8 version of Sortex, which gives you the nice granite texture now. All of the andesite and all that stuff looks nicer now because it doesn't have that 16-bit texture, or the 16x texture. It has a 64x texture to match all the rest of the textures in the pack, in the resource pack. So take a quick look around, and then I think we're gonna call this video done. It's gonna be a short one, but I just wanted to demonstrate the whole function of the train station. It's completely done. The returns are done. The only thing that we may change in the future, and I guess it just depends on whether we think we're going to have very many collisions or not. Fargo was pretty adamant about wanting to have that return track, so and the resources are not an issue because it's just iron and wood, and he's got an iron, or somebody's got an iron farm. I think it's Fargo. I think it's Fargo's iron farm over there. The iron farm right over there. Oh, they've done some serious decoration on the iron farm. So this is see, I mean, I turn my back for a minute and look, there's something crazy been built, and now that looks like a giant robot or something. Looks pretty cool, actually. So yeah, that's an iron farm. Or maybe that's Sky's iron farm. I don't know. But anyway, iron farm right over there. Lots of iron, no problem. Making all the track we ever wanted. The only issue that I can foresee is having enough of the powered rail, but like I said, when there's a passenger in the car can go a lot further with only a little bit of powered rail. So let's flip it back to my destination, and I'm gonna head back to my place. We'll ride out that way. You can see it sends me down this way, and so there's some powered rail. I only have, like, I think one piece of powered rail or two in the middle of this track. So you just start to slow down just a tiny bit, but then I have a few pieces of powered rail there. And that's going to get me all the way to the very end of this long tunnel on just that little bit of powered rail because, like I said, momentum, I guess they're physics, you know, weight. The weight allows you to carry more momentum. Now going up these hills like this, these verticals, any less than what I have here, this is like as far as I can put them, and you can still kind of feel a little bit of slowdown right when you get to like this point when you're coming up between these. So I think it's, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks, and then 3 pieces of power. So it's 3, and then 4, and then 3, and then 4, and then 3, and then 4. All the way whenever you're doing these vertical ones, especially if you don't want to have a big amount of momentum loss in between. So yeah, there we go. That's about it. As I said, if we do the return track, this is going to be definitely different, and I'll come back and show that if and when, or probably more a matter of just when we set one of those up to do the separate tracks. So in fact, it might even become simpler because it'll be more like, you know, this hopper goes right into a dispenser, which dispenses in this direction, and yeah, well, anyway, it'll be much simpler. Might end up making an enclosure or some kind of covering for this, or trying to decorate it up a bit. This is basically just enough to kind of conceal the redstone involved with it. It's not too much. I'm going to let the high decoration or the more elaborate decorations be done by other folks. I'm just going to stick with the redstone. And yeah, I'm gonna, probably next episode I'm going to work on actually creating something else out of redstone for myself. For other folks on the Minecraft server, if you're looking for things that you may want me to make for you. There's elevators, there's secret doors, there's combination locks for vaults or whatever. Those are potential things that I might be able to make for you. Automated farms and things like that could potentially also be done. So yeah, let me know if anybody else has a project for me and would like me to start on it. Give me contact and we'll work something out. Thank you, Fargo, for the payment. Let me go ahead and get rid of that chest now because I don't need that there. But yeah, so exciting redstone stuff. Lots of changes in 1.8, lots of cool stuff, new cool stuff that you're going to be able to do with redstone and slime blocks. We haven't even touched on that just yet, but yeah, I have some elevator ideas, some secret doors and things like that. That's all going to be able to be done using the slime blocks combined with various redstone mechanics and things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's short. I intended to actually get some other video out today, but I need to put this first because I have to save my my other video for another day. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like, comment, thumbs up, and all that fun stuff. And even if you didn't, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know how I can do better next time. I know my voice is a little rough today, so I hope that I hope it's not too terrible. Anyway, till next time, I will catch you later.